How's it going, everyone? It is Dragon. We're back with another chapter of Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest, chapter 128, Tigers Unite. The cover page for this chapter has Natsu in a mine with a absolutely massive pickaxe. His outfit for me is very steampunky, which I don't even feel like we've gotten many steampunk outfits throughout all of Fairy Tail, like for covers and whatnot. So kind of interesting, picking up with our actual chapter, which ties really well with the cover page, because Natsu and the rest of Sabretooth are going to that coal miner guild that attacked Natsu last chapter, and they're interrogating him, which I pretty much figured that they were told by Gold Owl to attack Fairy Tail and that there were just guilds under them. Which in this interrogation, they're asking, why did you try and kidnap all the members of Fairy Tail just now? Which Natsu's interrogation is pretty simple, even though he looks pretty beat up, the guy that he's talking to. Because he's like, where is everyone? And he just gives him the straight up answer, like, Gold Owl, they're at Gold Owl. They hired us. They told us to take wizards from Fairy Tail. Like, they're there. Which he gives Natsu the location of it. And he's like, okay, cool. I'm out. Let's go. Which this is where you get scary Minerva peeking her head back out again. Because she's like, you fairies don't even understand that you're getting, like, the wool pulled over your eyes. Like, let me show you what a true interrogation is like. And Minerva and the rest of Sabretooth, except for Yukino, pretty much gets pretty sadistic here, getting pretty scary once again, interrogating him and saying, I know you still are hiding some things, don't think I'm so naive. Sting and Rogue are pretty much equally going along with this, because they're like, you messed with our friends. How dare you? You're gonna tell us everything you know, or we're gonna beat the crap out of you. Yukino out of Sabretooth is the only one sensible, like, hey, you guys are going a little too far. You need to calm down here. But Lecter and Frosh are all for it. Yukino's pleas for them to calm down don't really go anywhere, because Minerva already has her mindset, and they start tearing this guild apart. Which Minerva is really having a blast here, like she has gone evil mode once again. And Sting and Rogue pretty much equally join in on this. Which Natsu and Yukino are both like, what the heck is going on here? I swear, like, Natsu in these past few chapters has been like acting like a whole different person, man, because he's like, oh, you just wanted to destroy the guild, didn't you? And it turned out Sabretooth's interrogation tactics actually did work, because they found out where everyone was taken, and it turns out they were all taken to separate locations. Sting is really wanting Natsu's approval this whole chapter, because he's like, see, wasn't I right to go on that rampage with everyone else to get the info that we needed? Which goes into probably my favorite part of this whole chapter, to where in that rampage that Sabretooth just caused, Natsu basically felt like he was in the guild once again, and he starts assigning everyone's role, saying that Minerva looked like Urza, that Yukino was basically Lucy, Lecter and Frosh were Wendy and Carla, that Rogue was like Gray, and Sting is so hyped because he's like, oh, dude, the only one left is Natsu. I get to be Natsu, right? Turns out, no, you're wrong, Sting. You're happy. Which you get the discount Team Natsu, with Natsu and Sabretooth cosplaying as the other Team Natsu members, with everyone cosplaying here. I absolutely love Yukino cosplaying as Lucy. I think that one is very fun. This cosplay effort wasn't perfect, because Natsu has to point out to Sting that his Happy cosplay, he's not saying I, like Happy. Sting gets super offended by this, because he's like, I'm never going to say that. You dress me up like Happy and then you expect me to say I? Natsu whips out a fish, which I'm not really sure where he was holding that this whole time, which that was good enough, and it gets Sting to say I. Which he is super dejected by this, because he's like, oh my goodness, I actually did it. Oh no. This is where things start getting serious again, with Rogue being like, this is no time to mess around. We're in a very serious situation right now. I like how this shows the confidence that Natsu has in his teammates, because he's like, well, everyone's fine. And Minerva's like, at the end, you were going so crazy, like everyone's about to die. But since he found out that everyone was in different locations and they're mostly teamed up, he, trusts that they can get out of their situations, but they just got caught off guard at the time, and he's not going to underestimate his friends. Even Sabretooth themselves is like, yeah, Jalal and Urza, like if they don't manage to get out of their situation, they're doing something wrong. Even Wendy being paired with Gray, pretty likely they can get out of their situation as well. And Lecter and Frosh point out that Lucy and Happy got captured together, which I absolutely love that Natsu takes like offense to this. Like, you're thinking they can't get out of their situation, don't you dare underestimate them. I love this character shift that happens because Natsu is so confident that Lucy and Happy could get out of their situation even without his help, and he has such faith in them. But the second that Sting points out that something weird could be potentially happening to Lucy and or Happy, his mood completely changes. Because Sting points out to Natsu saying that, you know, what happens to like a girl if she gets kidnapped, right? Saying that, you know, some less than savory things could be potentially happening to Lucy and or Happy right now. And that gets a image of Lucy being tickled, I guess, and Sting and Minerva get kind of pervy about it, and they start saying things that could potentially be happening right now. Because of Sting, he sparked a wild imagination in Natsu, and he has to go save them right this instant. I love that he refers to Yukino and Sting with the discount branded fairy tale naming, calling Yukino Lucy-ish Yukino and Sting Happy-ish Sting. And Minerva just straight up goes with it, and she's like, well, I was Urza, so I guess that means I'm going after Urza. Lecter, Frosh, and Rogue decide to go after Gray and Wendy, and Minerva's pretty confident with her going to save Urza and Jalal that she's not even going to have to do anything at all, because she's like, knowing those two, they're not going to need saving at all. Which, speaking of Urza and Jalal, we cut over to them with the two quite literally trapped in a Polaroid. A lot of repeating from last chapters with them not being able to get out of there, that they can use magic, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Of course, you're going to get some more relationship moments with them, with Jalal being stuck in a region, and this whole time they're thinking that this is some kind of magic, which they're able to talk with the guy that took this photo, and he clarifies that what they're trapped in right now, it actually is alchemy, and that the photo that they're trapped in is taking their magic power and using it as alchemy material. From that, we go back over to Natsu, Sting, and Yukino. Sting really unleashed a monster here by giving Natsu this idea in his head. And Natsu starts imagining Lucy and Happy in less than savory situations, which kind of interesting that he's also blushing during this. And Sting's like, gosh, he is so delusional right now. And like, Yukino's just like, you caused all of this. Side note, kind of love that they put Happy in a bunny outfit as well in the one picture with Lucy. Which, speaking of Lucy, we actually cut over to her and find out that her and Happy are just tied up in a cage. Nothing too weird is going on, just whoever trapped them is just eating a dried potato in a really weird way. And Lucy and Happy are both not very enthused by what's going on here, like, why is she eating in such a weird voice? And Happy looks so miserable right there, and he's saying he's so scared. Which Lucy starts to try and get some answers, because she's like, well, what's even the point of kidnapping us? And this person that kidnapped them has no idea. And Lucy's starting to wonder, like, well, you know, she told me that she was an informant. Was that a lie to begin with? And apparently that part of it was actually true. And that's how she found out this information, that Gold Owl wants wizards from Fairy Tail, and anyone that catches one will get a hefty sum. So from Lucy, we go over to the Gold Owl Guild itself, and we're following Rogue along with Frosh and Lecter. Quite literally, Rogue did get the hardest job here, because if he's got to infiltrate the Gold Owl Guild and they don't know, like, anything about alchemy, and this is where probably the strongest users of alchemy are, for him to have to infiltrate the guild and get Gray and Wendy out, that's not a very small task to do, which even they know that Rogue can't solo this thing, which his whole plan is to go in there and try and rescue Gray and Wendy, and with those two, they should probably be able to manage something, which Rogue takes off from them solo, disguised as the Shadow, which he finds Gray and Wendy tied up. And they have a circle of Gold Owl members around them, and they're kind of berating them like, this is the legendary Fairy Tale Guild. You know, why are they naked, and why are they a bunch of little kids? Which you get more of a close-up shot on Gray, Wendy, and Carla, and Rogue is watching them now as well. And Sai's like, okay, you know, I captured these guys, but, you know, we're going to go get more of them as well. And this look on Gray's face, you know, you done pissed him off. With him saying you're trying to pick a fight with Fairy Tale, you know what's going to happen next, right? And he's looking super dead serious. You do not want to mess around with this guy. He is going to beat you up. And that is the end of our chapter. So my thoughts. Pretty short chapter, mainly just kind of setting up where everyone got kidnapped, but I absolutely loved Natsu's concern for everyone in the guild. I especially love how his demeanor completely changed when Sting brought up the whole idea that, like, bad things could be happening to Lucy and Happy, because he went from such confidence that the two could get out solo to, I need to help them immediately because bad things could be happening now. This is like one of the few times we've gotten him like legit imagining Lucy. He was actually like legit blushing thinking about it, you know? You don't get him thinking about people that way, you know? I know it wasn't really in a romantic, you know, context. It was just like thinking like, oh no, look at this bad thing that they could be potentially doing to my friend. I must go save them now. Otherwise, I absolutely love the discount Sabretooth Fairy Tale. I love them cosplaying. That was pretty fun. And that Natsu was referring to them as like the fairy tale names. That was really funny. I imagine next chapter we'll probably get some people breaking out, or maybe some fights starting to get them to be broken out. Can't imagine most of the members being trapped for very much longer. Otherwise, I thought this was a pretty fun chapter. Leave your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Yes, I'm still working on the Wendy video. I've just been so insanely busy lately. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and this is Drago, signing out.